Hello, Forest Grove. It's Bob Abbey, Adult Services Librarian, coming to you today from Hillsborough, where I'm sheltering in place. I hope you're all well and staying safe and healthy. We're about a month into the library closure, and during this time, we've been working hard to stay connected to you, our community, through a series of resources, services, and even programming options in a virtual environment. Now, speaking of programming, one of the events that we were all very excited about was scheduled to take place on Tuesday, April 21st, an evening with Kim Stafford, Oregon's 9th Poet Laureate. In addition to our event in the library, Kim was very generous with his time, offering to spend the morning working with Pacific students and the afternoon at the Forest Grove Community School. I reached out to Kim to see if we could maybe come up with an alternative to that in-person program, and he was kind enough to agree to record a Zoom session with me, which we present to you now. So sit back and enjoy a few minutes with Oregon's 9th Poet Laureate, Kim Stafford. Be well, everyone. I'm really pleased today to be joined by Kim Stafford, who is the 9th Poet Laureate for the state of Oregon.
For one more month.
One more month, okay.
Yes.
I guess you're probably pretty busy in this last month, right?
Yeah, a lot of people have figured out, hey, you had to cancel your last 25 events. How about if we get you online and see what we can do? So I'm glad to connect with the people of Forest Grove in this way.
Well, we originally scheduled Kim to come out and do an evening presentation for April 21st. And Kim was so generous of his time, we basically managed to fill his entire day.
That was going to be a great day. College, community school, library, yeah.
Everything. I mean, it just was, I think, such a perfect opportunity for you to meet our community and our community to meet you. And since we can't do that now because of the library closure and because of everybody staying safe, and through the magic of Zoom, we decided, let's make this happen virtually. So,
yeah.
So I should say that I saw Kim's Artslandia live stream on Sunday, and that's really what kind of gave me the idea to revisit this. And there was so much in that hour session that I took away and cherished, and it is available on the Artslandia Facebook page, so check it out. It's a great live stream. And I guess I want to just start by finding out, how are you doing? How are you handling all of this?
Well, you know, poets tend to be have an introvert dimension. So sheltering in place gives me time to write, time to think, time to read, time to connect with friends as I can. And I go really back and forth. You know, sometimes I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my children's lives and my country and our world. And other times I think, what an amazing opportunity to rethink how we do things, how we connect, what we really need, who needs our help. Could there be another way to do politics, economics? You know, I think big questions that we weren't able to think about while things were humming along, now we have a chance to think about. And I try to do that with my poems in my own small way.
Mm-hmm. Where are you right now?
I'm in my office in the house in Southwest Portland. And every morning I have a little shed in the yard. I go out there in the morning and write, and then I come in the house and revise, and spend a lot of the day doing email these days. I get a lot of people writing saying basically, I thought of a great thing you could do. So this is my third of 5 Zoom chats today, Bob.
Yeah, when we scheduled this, I looked at your schedule and I thought, oh my gosh, This is great that
Oh,
we
yeah.
can.
I'm so glad we can connect.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as I was preparing to come out to Forest Grove, I was sort of snooping around the library website and the university, the writing program, and I came to the webpage of the Forest Grove Community School. And I just want to start with this poem by way of example of my sense of what a poet laureate does. You know, one of the stories I like to tell is my predecessor, the 8th poet laureate, Elizabeth Woody. She said something in her last reading back in May of 2018. She said, the more I do this, the less it's about what the poem is, and the more about who the poem serves. And I really have that sense of a poem serving a person or a place, or in this case, a school. So I was looking at the website of the Forest Grove Community School, and I was charmed by the way the different grades are not numbered numerically, but the little ones are the barn swallows. And then they become the green swallows, and they become the puffins. And, you know, and I thought, I need to write a poem for this school. So this is my poem for the Forest Grove Community School. It's called The Parliament of Fowls, which actually is a title from Chaucer. Back in about 1380, he wrote a poem called The Parliament of Fowls, where all the birds are talking to each other and debating. So the Parliament of Fowls at the Forest Grove Community School. What did the barn swallows teach the green swallows? This is the dance we're in. Here's how to chase the wind. Veer where the sky grows thin. That's how we chase the wind. But what did the green swallows teach the puffins? Here's how I flit in filigree. Here's how to zoom like a honeybee. Don't go thinking you'll capture me. See how I flit in filigree? Well, what did the puffins teach the plovers? I know the sea is stuffed with wishes. I'm gone and all you hear is swishes. I learned how to snatch the flying fishes, for I know the sea is stuffed with wishes. What did the plovers teach the merlins? Blur their eyes like a spinning top. Take a hop, then run and stop. Eat every worm like a lollipop as you blur their eyes like a spinning top. What did the merlins teach the kestrels? I shake the wind as I hover and dive. To my hawk eye gaze, the world's alive. Never give up if you hope to survive. So I shake the wind as I hover and dive. It goes on and on. So many birds in the world, so many ages for a human being, you know, as we journey through these stages of understanding. I don't know. So that was one that I was so hoping to read to a room full of kids in Forest Grove.
That was one of the ways we had occupied your day here. Was we had arranged for you to meet with the 7th and 8th graders at the community school, and you were so generous to offer that poem, and it's so great to hear you read that, because that really brings it to life and provides some additional meaning to it. So I know that you've been working on a series of pandemic poems.
Yes, I have. You know, as part of this sense, Bob, of serving, you know, how could my humble ability be part of going through this together? And so every morning I wake up and I take a walk in the dark, and it's very quiet, empty. And sometimes I hear the owl, sometimes I hear the coyote. And, you know, while I'm walking, I'm thinking. And so on Easter last Sunday, I just thought of the word rise, rise. And so I wrote this poem, Rise. And I feel like it's a pandemic poem because many things can cast us down, but there's this countervailing buoyancy that we need. Rise. Dandelion in sassy yellow scoffs at concrete. Seed a crack and thrive. You gotta dig down to rise. Knocked flat, laid low, scrawny kid holds a secret The bully doesn't know. I'm gonna grow. Salt sea struck a bargain with the moon. Draw back, go slack, ebb deep if you want to rise. Tiny virus wears the crown. Pandemic thinks it's got us down. We too will rise.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
I don't know, just little putting thoughts together, putting words together. I think one of my main hopes as Poet Laureate is to encourage people to put words on paper. Have a time in the day when you have an appointment with yourself, with your thoughts, with your fears, with your hopes. And you can bring those out of your mind onto the page. And even if you don't turn out a great poem, it will be an important poem. It will be a better day. That's my feeling anyway.
And you make a distinction between a great poem and an important poem, right?
Yeah, I think in that program earlier, I came up with this idea. Am I trying to write a poem for the ages, for fame, for posterity? No, I'm trying to write a poem for today, for people with me now. I don't try to make a breakfast for the ages. I make a breakfast for today to nourish me. And that's the way I feel about a poem. It can help me get through this day and maybe help others. So I have this poem, Tasks of the Laid Off Worker. Stay home, lie low, get by. Sleep in, watch news, brew tea. Hang tough, call friends, make plans. Cinch belt, pay bills, count down. Cook rice, wash dish, lick spoon, bow low, pray hard, breathe deep. Have hope, lose hope, make hope. Watch rain, check clock, lie down. Hold on, hum song, have dreams. Trust time, let go, keep faith. So a little spell to think it through.
Mm-hmm. You also talk about your process for writing. You say you have a 4-step.
Yeah, I have a 4-step process, and let me put an overlay on this. This is what I was going to tell the students at the university out there. After apartheid ended in South Africa, this terrible time, many people had been killed, places had been burned, the country was torn apart. They created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And how are we going to heal this country? And they came up with 4 kinds of truth. There's forensic truth. What are the facts? Who died? Who was there? What is the witness's address? Is there a photograph? Those are the facts. Second kind, personal truth. What happened to me? What is my story? Third, community truth. What is our story? What happened to us? So, we're getting a bigger understanding. And the 4th kind is the most interesting to me. They called it healing truth. What is a story, a song, a way of understanding that can help us move on to the next place? And I feel in my daily writing practice, I try to do a version of that. First, I write the date on the page. That's the fact. Then I write what I call my boring prose, just Dear Diary. There's my personal story. This is what happened yesterday and so on. And then I write an idea, and this is our truth, just an idea like a well-lit problem begins to heal. Just an idea that's our truth. And then the 4th, a healing truth, is a poem. So I try to kind of sneak up on the inspired part. I can't jump into inspiration. I have to sneak up on it. by writing. And that's what I want to encourage people to do. Just do some write a letter to someone, write a loving email. This is your chance. Write a poem, write a story, write a little song. This is a good chance to do that.
A great way to stay connected, and
Yes.
a great way to connect with others and use the power of words to do that.
And I think prepare for what's next, Bob. We don't know what's next. It's going to take all of us. There's this old idea that you have a vote, very important, but you also have a voice. And the voice can grow, can reach, can touch others if you let it out of your mind and put it on the page and pass it on.
Could you share some more of your pandemic poems with us?
Yeah, let's see what I've got here. Well, I imagined, thinking ahead, this is kind of a prophecy, I guess. Out there somewhere is a vaccine, and once they figure out the vaccine and we have it, I feel like the day that's announced, that will be known as Vaccination Day, and years to come we'll celebrate Vaccination Day. So I'm taking my mind forward. I'm imagining Vaccination Day, what our ritual will be. We will lay a wreath below the statue of the nurse with the improvised mask. We will all sing from balconies and dance like those Iranian doctors feeling the music in spite of all. At Arlington Cemetery, flowers on the grave of the unknown homeless refugee found alone in an alley in LA. At evening, we will gather to shelter in place, grateful to share the simple food of those days, looking into each other's eyes to tell our legends of kindness, generosity, connection, and to the research team who gave their patent to the world. Thinking back to Jonas Salk, who gave his patent freely after finding a way to heal polio, to prevent polio. So, it's a little spell. It cheers me up. It might plant a seed for an idea, and just put it out there.
Well, I think anything we can do to retain hope and
yes,
keep ourselves looking forward.
Yeah. I have some writing prompts. I have a description of the 4-part writing ritual. I have many pandemic poems on my website, kimstaffordpoet.com. People can go there, and I hope it may help people do some writing in this time.
Well, I'm hoping that you can leave us with a final thought as we move forward.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's going to be another long period of staying in place.
Yeah. Well, I go back and forth between feeling somber, feeling afraid, anxiety, and then I look outside, and it's so beautiful. It's that time that a friend of mine calls the Oregon Symphony, when all the buds burst open. And so in that spirit, I wrote this poem called Oregon Dawn, in spite of the news. Before I can get to our statistics, so many stricken, so many dead, I'm summoned by the birds raising a ruckus outside, crows and jays in festive outrage, trill, chirr, and aria from the little brown birds, the mournful dove, the querulous towhee, rusty starlings in their seesaw mutter, and a woodpecker hammering the gutter staccato. On the porch, I'm assaulted by the merciless scent of trees, opening their million flowers as I inhale the deep elixir of hazel, hawthorn, maple, and those shameless cherry trees. And just when I've almost recovered my serious moment, I gasp, helpless to see the full queen moon sidling down through a haze of blossoms.
What a perfect way to end our conversation. Thank you, Kim, so much for agreeing to have this very short Zoom session, a kind of an abbreviated version of the program that we had scheduled. And please know that the invitation is always open for you to come out and share more with our community. And we would love to have you.
We will meet when the time is right. Thank you so much.
Ken Stafford, Poet Laureate of Oregon for another month.
Another month.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Be well.
Be safe.